And we are back live with Disco Elysium because not only am I the best streamer, I'm not actually, but world-class troubleshooter. Had a little bit of an issue getting into the apartment, but here I am. A quick reboot solved everything, and let's. I don't even think this is an apartment. Why was this little room crashing? All right, let's take a look around, see what we can find. Someone's been sleeping in here. That's quite likely. Seriously? Are you kidding me? Excuse the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, this one particular little room doesn't want to behave. Let's try that again. Okay, we're here. We're here. We're in here. We're good. We're making progress. We found the drug users, the cut-off genes that are incredible. That room is cursed. That room is absolutely cursed. I swear. Okay. Okay, so we know that there's absolutely nothing of value in the boiler room. Or at least nothing that I'm willing to crash the game over. So let's take that $2. That'll help. That's no good making any sort of progress at this point. All right, let's try to find a way to the second floor if it doesn't involve a balcony.
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers, the iconography of communism, in other words. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
Why is the star upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old, also some social democrats were already using it.
What's the deal with the antlers?
The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it.
And why white?
Because white is the color of peace.
What does it evoke in me?
Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain in dirty hallways. You are the big communism builder now. It's you or no one.
Fantastic. Okay, stairs would be lovely. Maybe this balcony has something useful. It does. Oh, someone's watching. Let's save so I don't crash. Excellent. We're back on track, I think. Makes sense. This would be where... Yes, I do try to break into random people's homes. Anyway, welcome back. We've had several crashes, as apparently the boiler room is just utterly broken. It cost me the end of my save yesterday and just no end of headaches today, but we were successful enough to determine that there's absolutely nothing in there of interest, so far. So let's see how far we can get without interacting with that one particular room. I'm probably not going to upload my last 20-minute attempt at doing anything, because I didn't get anywhere. So yesterday, I cleared off a bunch of quests. Well, yesterday, this morning, technically. We finished the autopsy and sent the body for processing, which was very exciting. That's all done. Also got a handy little reality lowdown. And I solved a mystery for Joyce and delivered a mysterious key for Everett. Kim's gone, sadly. So now I'm kind of exploring the apartments. Once I'm done here, see what's next.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Come back to that in a second. What about this door over here? Occupied and probably not break-inable.
This door is made number 28. No one answers. Looks like he isn't home. You should come back later, after 2100.
Really? All right. That is disappointing, but at least I know how to get here now. Is there anything loot related here? Not really. Ooh. Getting there. I see. All right. Where to next? I don't want to talk to... I might go talk to the Union boys at the Whirling Rag in a minute, but explore southward first and see what else I can find. For artillery fire. So that would be the road that needs to drop in order for me to continue onwards. I'm so paranoid now. Who are you, sir?
Good morning to you, officer.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
Salami. First things first, what are you doing here, man on the waterlock?
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer?
Do you know what caused this wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershell.
The words "daredevil driver" sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Do you know what's further down the coast, sir?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
Bizarro sounds fun.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Yeah. Can I have some of your food?
Sure thing.
It is salty, it is savory, it is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty.
2-day hangover. Oof, I'm sorry, buddy. Right, bye. Pawn shop has nothing interesting. Who are you? Hot air from the sewers. Bottles? Okay. Alright. I don't really want to buy anything from you, sir. Thank you, though. What else is there?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Sorry, man. Can't disclose the facts of an official investigation for you.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
I really don't know.
Damn. I always warned her to watch herself. Man. Nothing to do now, I guess. Maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan for those rhymes, anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Why Tommy Lahum with incorrect French grammar?
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
Oh no, Jerry Lafitte's a pretty badass name too.
It's more him.
Another question, actually.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
That's actually all I got for now. Let's head south from here and see if there's anything past this truck. There is not. Okay. up here?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Look in the window.
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kind of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crown with wavy rays.
What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
It's useless. Okay, let's cash in this novelty check.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
Okay. Give me something to work with here.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Fair enough. Let's see. I need to exchange this novelty check for cash.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash.
I'll leave. Well, that solves my rent problem, I suppose. So let's go back to the Whirling in Rags, cash it in, and chat with these fine gentlemen. And you, are you my lawyer, girl?
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
I knew you were not a gardener.
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Noted.
Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
Are you Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands, in her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that. A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
You said Mr. Everard sent you to law school?
I represent the union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
A very minor victory.
What's your role in all this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
You go talk to Titus then. Wow, you're a dick. Alright, let's pay the rent.
Can I help you?
About the bill for tonight.
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Well, thank you. Goodbye. Okay. What about you?
Just a moment.
The cryptozoologist's wife.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there, or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Well, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why do you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Cryptozoologist. That's an interesting line of work.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it.
As you.
This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
What's this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Well, the water lock's broken.
The water lock, that was broken. Could this be it?
The water lock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
Probably just some technical problem.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. You've spared me another sleepless night. Listen, sweetie, I hate to ask, but if your investigation happens to take you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
I can do that for you.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
Certainly. I love looking for extremely rare insects.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're there. You're here.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Tell me more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship.
Oh, dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
Oh, what does he look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even. One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
Excellent. And how did you two meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need.
I hope I've been useful.
What can you tell me about this insect?
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
Oh, I want to hear about it.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the insular Indian coast.
I love how all the voices in my head are in agreement that this is cool.
Hence, it's named the insular Indian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering it with us, officer.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciates the creature's name.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the insular Indian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Ambush predator? Valuable.
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
So what's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Well, that's all for now, ma'am. All right, did I break the phone line too, buddy? Tell me.
Can I help you?
Saw another thing with the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
The phone line is dead?
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
Pretty strange.
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
Is it true there was foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources. It doesn't matter. I just want to know who you suspect.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of arseholes around here who aren't murderers.
Oh, that would include me, I'm sure.
If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill.
Okay.
Yes?
All right.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Shake your head.
Horse need more vodka?
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself.
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
It's true. No vodka. Cut it.
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
I don't need anything else. Stay masculine. That solves another problem. Just less booze in the borscht. Okay, so that is probably Titus. What do you have to say?
This is where you say your bit.
Oh, he's a very unpleasant man. Don't say anything yet.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
We need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian in his late 30s, early 40s. And then standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician.
And the little guy.
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing.
These guys sound fun.
In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of which... Yeah, where's the driver?
Exactly. The missing lady driver who was running the drug trade. Does it mean the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well?
That would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
Maybe. But hey, you've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Now is a good time to hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
It has to be good if he won't let you pursue it.
Sorry, boss.
The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You really love talking about him.
Evidence. Show them you have it. It doesn't have to be conclusive.
Why are your boot prints all over the scene?
You mean these boots?
Yes.
We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah, we did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why our prints are all over the scene.
So you just confessed to murder? This is way too easy.
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to answer any of his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce, the negotiator for Wild Pines?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
This is where he tries to sow discord between you two, because he knows the company is responsible for bringing the mercenaries into town.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Seminine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
How do you even know he was in Special Forces?
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
Good question.
He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls,
grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Jesus. What a winner. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
Hey, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Great. How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service.
The autopsy revealed the victim's hands were not tied, no signs of a struggle. How do you explain that?
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock the victim out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Right.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
I see. And where'd all the action take place?
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
I'm gonna fail this.
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
Didn't think so. Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under the pressure?
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
I have other questions about the lynching, please.
Like what, Copper?
You murdered him just like that? No remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
I'm just doing my job. That's all.
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary? Prison is a charter. That's what it is.
He's clearly been in solitary confinement, and at a young age, nonetheless.
The fucker got what was coming to him. Our conscience is clean.
Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
Everett Clare runs the union. You answer to him, right? No. You do. You give the commands.
That's right, asshole. Titus Hardy runs
you.
the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas?
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms. The others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
So what are we gonna do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. You should go back to Jamrock, to your station, where you belong.
Yes, run home, lonely rent-a-cop. Real law officials are done with you. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equal.
Ah. I have no proof on the drugs. I'm not going to threaten him. I'm going to take off now. You have anything new to say?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Why are you so aggressive?
I am being aggressive? Listen, you moral and unlucky. You are part of a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you are their bodyguard.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
World needs a financial buffer zone. No need to get emotional.
No one is emotional here. Do your job. Ask your questions, then leave.
What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it.
You're clearly not the Hardy girl. Maybe we'll talk later. Huh. Okay. Well, that requires the bridge to be down. That scares me. Bridge down. The witness would be... Okay, so I get the other guy after 9 o'clock. Interesting. I don't know what to do next. Go visit that. Let's go visit that ledger and see what it says.
File cabinet stands steady as ever. Sliding out, a drawer presents you the folders you already went through. Hundreds of documents containing logistical and the same materials you already went through. Remember, Leo, all items on the drawer slides. The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then...
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Why'd I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
My name's Harry Dubois. Do you have anything in my name?
Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one.
What kind of film is that?
It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Igitius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
On the corner of Voyager and Maine, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol, 24 hours. It's raining and there is almost no traffic on the street. A woman's footprints, tiny heels, tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps, light-footed with a lifetime ahead of them. You look up and the air seems to grow darker. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over.
What was all shit? We're done. Okay. I got another level. Which could be... authority. I'm running out of things to do. Yeah, let's interact with this.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip. Then mate...
What did I just take? I need another thing of interfacing. Where am I going to get that?
The worn map features the front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally
it's the
by
New
little
Yorker.
doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International development, Kunst und Kult.
Oh. I feel like I missed something. Not sure what yet, though, but I definitely missed something. Unless I'm just stuck and I can't do anything till after 9 p.m., which is also a possibility. Ooh, I did miss that. And I missed those. Got anything new to say, Leo?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Got some questions for you, buddy.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like...
Actually, I got nothing to say to you. You have nothing for me. I don't trust the Union guy's story. If Buddy knocked him out in the back of the head, we would have seen that in the autopsy. So he's lying to me. I don't...
This is the night watchman.
What lit up there?
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
How hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Look at it. Of course it was you. You partied here.
Yeah, we did, Bratan. And from the looks of it, we had a hell of a time. Hell of a time, Bratan.
You fucking die. It's really sad. I must have been miserable.
No, Bratan. I'm sure it was a blast. When do you and I not have fun together? Don't answer that. Just take that positive feeling and run along.
I hope no one else can hear my necktie. Almost done. 34 minutes. Okay. I'm out of things to do for the next 6 hours. The scab leader knows he's dead, right? He's got to know he's dead. He has to. Everybody else knows everything in this little town. No way this backfires.
to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
What's a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
What do strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
You are an odd-looking one. What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Who are all these strikebreakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
Are you a mercenary hired by Wild Pines?
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
It just has to be said. That was not a convincing line.
I'm just an honest scab. That doesn't sound too convincing.
Fucking loincloth.
Loincloth? Now you see, that's not really what a scab would say, is it? Better not to press the issue further, sire. He seems tense. The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right-to-work dance back on.
What's the worst that can happen? You might be able to help me decipher some tattoos.
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
We're investigating a murder. These tattoos were on the victim's body.
Silence. He takes the photo. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. You see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melting skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
Loincloths?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the tattoo means?
What it means.
In what must have been Seminine.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one.
Yeah.
You want to hear what happened here?
Yes, please.
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission.
Benital is one of the inhabited islands of the Seminese archipelago near the Pale. Covered in jungle, it was anchor point for the Seminese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
With some strange emotion, this is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Don't interrupt him.
Our boy. He's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon. At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old. She was quite the entertainment for the weak she lasted expired in the hands of Sarge Mason, the kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God, Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now. Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass.
What the fuck?
Something stirs in your stomach. There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless, odorless. It's...
You were there?
No, I was somewhere else. That's just a guess as to what this one little star on his belly might mean. I'm just a bouncer.
Can I have that back, please?
Go ahead. All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Well, that was an interesting way to spend half an hour.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
Know anything about the Hardys?
Los Hardys? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighborhood vigilantes? Come on, he's just trying to keep the peace.
Good, let it go.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Good talking to you. Okay, my next thing doesn't start until 9, so let's go back up to my room and read through cases and see if anyone... Yeah.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Delightful.
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
I have time, because 9 o'clock is my time.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Couldn't we just keep them off the streets?
You would think that, But you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Public indecency.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Jesus.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing.
Okay.
The end. Do you want to read another one?
Delightful. Let's...
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Wow, Harry, you were a dirtbag. All right, let's try to open that hidden compartment up.
Just relax. The two sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
I'm going to slide it open.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
And what's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Holy shit! Wow, game. Pick up the ticket stubs.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
What about the card?
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
I'll smell it first.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says Tutti Frutti.
I miss Tutti Frutti. Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
Keep reading.
Your hand shakes holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Keep going.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
Hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
I guess I'm collapsing. What? Title card?
There is nothing. Again.
Nothing?
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
I just lie here, passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do?
It's not so nice.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Was this the X something?
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
No, it was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Where's Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
So my name appears to be Harry?
Your name is fuck all.
It certainly ain't Harry.
What is it?
Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
Okay, I'm just gonna lie here.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What's that? Cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Oh, hey! Where am I?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
You're back.
Mm-hmm. No drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
Oh.
You need a secondary form of hydration.
I drink.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I should ask you the same.
There was a call on the shortwave. Officer passed out in Martinez. I had a feeling it would be you. I'm glad I got here in time.
How long was I out?
I don't know. It could have been quite a while.
Only been about 10 minutes from the looks of it. I came in contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
I found this next to you. I'll tag along for the rest of the day if you don't mind. My business is concluded anyway. Are you okay to go?
Let's solve his case.
Good.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
Excellent. Okay, well, that's not bad. Huh. That was entirely depressing. This man's past is not good. +1 inland. Empire, +1 empathy, -2 authority. Okay. Well, him being back means I do have additional options. I can... get more info on the armor. I can talk to Kim and see what he says.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
I'm guessing one of its names is Crenell?
Yes. That is the most recent name the ICP has been able to connect to the CBP. And the one before it was Downwell. I also have one called Sediment, but I think that might be a different contractor. No, they work with Sediment. And somatosensor, it seems. All that during the last 9 years.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
A suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must have been a record of the person to whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her. an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your efforts in this case.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
I'm done with the radio for now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set.
All right, Kim, do you have any ideas for me?
Yes?
Let's try to pass this one.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57.
Yeah, that makes more sense than the other stuff I thought of.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
And what if my precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke?
I've considered it.
True?
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
Why's that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
So you are their finest?
I am the finest of nothing.
Okay. Do you really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
I think you should know that I can't really remember anything.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
I feel like I must repeat this. I don't remember anything. There was heavy drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
What's wrong with personal affairs?
Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
What's wrong? So what should I concentrate on?
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles.
I'm afraid it might be medical.
Really? You look fine to me.
Okay then.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
Okay, forget it.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Well, I got that. Okay. Now that I've got Kim back, let's see if I can have some fun with the lawyer, maybe? Round 2?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you the Hardy girl?
I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
Get a grip, Glenn. She went to law school.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
This didn't change her opinion of you. It's not her. She's not a Hardy girl. Definitely.
All right, anything new with you?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
That's not going to do me any good. I want to talk about the hanging again.
Again. Just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
good one, Titus.
No.
About fucking time.
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
With the honor. You've earned it.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
It's disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off the poisoning of your own people.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right?
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know. Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
I'm not gonna make that. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna take off now.
Yes?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
What's that? Okay. Okay.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
This is the police. Please open the door.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore, so I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Are all of these the bookstore?
You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You ring the doorbell. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call.
You still to pinball?
Silence. No one answers your call.
What about the empty card?
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. Looks like someone has melted.
That's... okay. What about you, my drunk friend? Let's try chatting with you.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Shouldn't I ask what the game is first?
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
You're right. Let's... Moment of your time, fellows. I don't want to get involved in the game.
Sure, officer. I am René Arnaud, and my specially abled partner here is Gaston Martin. How can we help you?
You know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
Most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
What about police women?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
There's no duties RCM women couldn't carry out.
But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. Don't you,
I don't think
officer?
there's any evolutionary inequality at play here.
Really, officer. Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top. Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea. But in real life, primal roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further.
Renee, I found your guard booth.
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Why were you on leave?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
Fair enough.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
So who is working your shift that night?
No one. The boss has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative?
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Big guys looking after small and everybody work together. I love it.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
I saw a picture in there. You were in it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Got it. Thanks.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Do you know what created it?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Okay.
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
I see. Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why shelve them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generations.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Not thoughtfully.
This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Guess that explains all the war damage.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains,
Jesus,
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
What exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes! King Philip III, on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Powerful leaders, not afraid to do what must be done. This is what, seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
Talk about something else.
Right.
Thank you for your time. Okay, let's stay with that. Oh, let's read. I don't want to hold that, but I want to interact with
It's the letter you found in the trash. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on dozens. You don't exactly close them. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
That's the couch in an unexpected location.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
It did look really cool, like a rock band.
Yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did I ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. you have a real job to do. What next?
What about the next world mural?
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high.
That'll do it.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the Belletras have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Okay, read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
I've removed the mural.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle. The middle class are not to be blamed.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
I've still got 3.5 hours to go, so let's talk about the square bullet hole murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But
that's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
A sequence killer?
Who knows? Those pages are missing.
That's
what next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
What about the murder at the hookah parlor?
Murder. Tum-tum-tum at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead. Of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
How?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villa Lobos gang members when him and his partner JM, only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Right, on with the murder.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Was Mills a good cop?
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Got it. Really cool.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge.
He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table, and died?
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
What was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
I can revisit this.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Well, that's done. Gotta level up, too. Can I do anything useful with that? Good lord, there's a lot of thoughts. I'm going to try to unlock White Morning, so I'm going to unlock it. Try to internalize this. Alright, I am... How can I kill 2.5 hours? Bruno, entertain
You
me.
missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Total retards use language like that. Congratulations, Kunos. You just made yourself a retard.
Stop choking, Kuno! The faggot has got you in a chokehold!
Kuno's not fucking choking.
Choked you out there. Serves you right for using reactionary shit.
Like fuck you did. Kuno's gonna keep saying kipped forever now. Kipped. Shit. The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck back down. Now let's talk normal shit.
Yeah, let's have a normal conversation.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaut.
Kuno, I found your shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
I pushed the panels aside, Kuno.
And then what? You fucking there? You fucking Kuno's kingdom?
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno!
What's with the pig head?
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Were you trying to send me a message of some sort?
Yeah, to the both of you. Watch your ass in Kuno's town, or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off.
Right. Found a plate covered with powder residue. Know anything about it?
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
No, thank you. What's with the tube of Magnestolum, Kuno?
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Magnesium, okay. Magnesium, right?
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a bottle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
Just magnesium. Don't mystify it.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Yeah, I heard enough of this.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Alright, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
What about you?
I'll die before I squeal, pig!
What are those strange words you use, girl?
I come from the woods, Guttavittu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing her. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. Hmm.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Good mail delivery box.
The mail collection box has no faith in your psychopathic manipulations.
2 hours.
Hello again, sir.
Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading them doesn't make the reader more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because I'll be a superstar cop in the papers and everything. That'll show them.
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
What's this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
I see. Why would anyone want to read about that?
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Oh. What does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
Not your body would support the police work anyway. It's your head.
Head? Yes.
No, it's your soul. your blue soul. Not head, child. Heads.
Flexibility. There's millions of different people out there, and you have to get into their heads. Sometimes you gotta be the killer to catch the killer.
Isn't that very dangerous?
You live and breathe danger, little girl. Mullen obviously lacks the...
Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
I gotta deduce something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going.
You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
There were a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex.
Want more? I bet I can figure out why you bite your nails.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You're uptight because your mother and the pressure she's putting on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
I hope this entertained you.
It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You think so? Fine. Do better. To do something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
How do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
I'm also sad and my head hurts.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar. Somehow, there's something you're missing.
Why does this feel familiar?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Well... Good one?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Shouldn't a working class woman be working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Good. Good.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Good then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need the help of a policeman? This is wonderful.
What with?
That's, what's your res books?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug for all the work she's done for mankind.
That's all for the moment. I'll let you read.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Right, there was a check inside I could do. I can probably fill out that again.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinaise. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme, Ozon, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Let me look at the edges. No, squint first. Can you see cities on the islands?
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history.
Very densely populated archipelago.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
All right. Wait, I don't know. Oh, let's have a chat with... What's in here?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
What's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Oh, I'm gonna examine a strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Yeah, you're creepy. I'm gonna leave. I can kill some time with this, right?
The face of King Fleecel smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
Let's read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
Good start.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
Wait.
Yours in struggle, the editors. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
There's a bench down here. Is that useful?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches, huh?
Dang it, Kim.
Looking for something?
I found this in the trash. Is it yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. I haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Is it yours?
God man. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
Okay. Is there a... Time passes when picking new dialogue options. Read books to pass time quicker. And I literally need to kill an hour and a half.
The face of King Freecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
I want to catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara.
Bear wrestling
Riots
sounds
in
fun.
Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst und Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
What is Tip Top Tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Local concerns?
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution so long as it's only redistributed upward. It's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days. You flip back to the front of the magazine, the table of content. The worn map features the patch your finger moves, finally. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
Okay. Hold a bit of time. Who else can I harass to?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What's that?
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
The tear machine stands.
I need... time to pass. Problem is, time just doesn't... Well, it's not a
Yes?
problem. Oh, yeah, you seem to be following me.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
What do you mean, distinctive?
I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically.
How's that?
They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
You're kidding me. Why containers?
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
So there's nothing here. I'm not gonna pass that. Where's the map wall? What if I read one of my cases again? know you're in hatred.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. With the permeables drawer, it takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
Square bullet hole.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? That's all you got. Who knows? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
I'm just going to read some of these. Because why not? It seems to
This
kill
one,
time.
cause of failure. Rent too high.
Even though, yeah, it's
The
moving the
real
clock along.
true
That's all
love
that matters.
is people. The Graffito crew is easy. The crew agree. The 9,000 people subjected to a staggering 78% of voters. Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Get a couch.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. Yes, as you said, they were leaving cigarette butts. No, you didn't. Not much is...
Excellent. It is past 9 o'clock. Let's go find my witness? Question mark? We're gonna kill the stream at the end of day 2. It seems like a good place to end it, but before we end with Kids Friday's debrief, there's one final task. Oh, if I hold it, they run. Okay. That is so much better. This is nice. This is much nicer. We're gonna save this game. Night is falling on the city. Maroon glow of light pollution. Okay. Let's chat with you.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
We got your hint. Found the key right under that stone.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
I'll talk to him, but I'd like to first want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Oh, kitty.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Okay, go then.
Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
He's always leaving. Why is he always leaving, Kim?
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery.
Something so different about him that I can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
He's a good listener.
You like talking to him.
Made me feel special.
It made you feel special. Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
I've learned at this point, save frequently, in case the game decides to crash. Oh, hey. Let's loot this place thoroughly after before we talk to him. Woo! Sure. Logic and suggestion. No. Guy's a party boy.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason, you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
I'll scare this away if I do that. Let's get down to business. Hello, Mr. Vildrouin. Let's get started.
Of course. Let me just say it has been an emotional week for me.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Start from the beginning, please, if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men? Women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
Are you sure at least one of them wasn't a woman?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, No celebratory shouts. No anything.
You're right, that does seem strange.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
Let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are all my questions. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCM.
What's an official like you doing in Martinaise?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
I see. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
You can tell me about your friend?
My friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
You're describing how the coalition occupied Revachol.
One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
What do you mean?
Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults. I hear they're oodles of fun. I used to have a flyer for one, but now that I start thinking of it, it was for an improv class anyway. It's this funny theater thing, you know? Very creative. Helps relieve stress.
A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be waiting for a motorbus. It's neither funny nor creative.
I disagree. Improv classes are fun and hilarious, but you still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
And what are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby is crying.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay.
What about it?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I had something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
Actually, I got all I need for now.
A moment, officer.
Okay.
Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
There it is. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around his apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
Yes?
Was there anything else?
I bet all I need.
Of course.
Interesting. Okay, well. That was definitely a meeting. Let's head back and do our debrief. Day 3, it looks like a day where stuff can actually happen, but I don't think anything else can happen tonight.
Can I help you?
Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. I haven't talked to you yet. Because you're not who I thought you were. You're just a random woman. You're not the woman smoking on the roof, who I'd really like to chat with.
Yes? Yes? What do you want to know?
Okay.
Good.
No debrief. That's fine. Let's see how sleep goes.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Let's get some sleep.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
What unpleasantness awaits me
Here
now.
we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
And why is that?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the...
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage.
Oh, I might die overnight.
Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
I'm sorry, Cells. It's all me. It was my fault.
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
These pains are my just desserts. I will endure this pain with dignity.
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass. Flashes of the day. You keep coming back to yourself in the mirror. But why? To admire all your accomplishments? You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared. At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
And we survived the night. That's always good. Big fan of surviving the night. Ah. But I think that is enough. We are on day 3 of this investigation. All sorts of new things open up on day 3, I've been told. In the meantime, this seems like a good place to stop. For those of you who've stuck with me, thank you very much. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube someday, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Have a great day. Be kind. Ciao. Ooh, yeah.